do what needs to be done because the math won't change.
But the primary focus of this APEC summit was about opening up new opportunities for U.S. goods in Asia. The president pointing out that the majority of consumers are beyond U.S. borders, and he wants to see more of those consumers with products that are stamped Made in America. Dan Lothian, CNN, Honolulu.
The poaching of black rhinos in South Africa is putting the species at risk, and it is actually getting worse. Figures revealed by the World Wildlife Fund show that the number of rhinos lost to poaching this year has already exceeded the total for last year. CNN's Robin Kerner has been looking at some of the attempts to stop poachers. Just a word of caution though, some of the images in this report are disturbing.
Of the African bushveld, South Africa's military patrols the border, tracking rhino poachers who slip into the Kruger Park at night from neighboring Mozambique. A record number of rhinos have been poached this year in South Africa. One is killed every 21 hours. Many people here in the Kruger Park fear that if rhinos keep on getting poached at the rate they're being hunted, that very soon you won't see rhinos in the wild like this. Public and private game reserves are trying to fight back. Pretty serious hardware.
Okay, this is LM5.
This anti-poaching team patrols the bush around the Sabi Sand Private Game Reserve, looking for tracks that might lead them to poachers. So what you're looking for is spoor. You're trying to track humans rather than animals. Just local men, trained trackers, hired to camp out in the wild night after night. You guys are on the front line, literally, of this war against rhino poaching.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you feel like soldiers?
Wow, I'm feeling more than soldier.
What do you feel like, a warrior?
Yes.
Other teams have also been deployed here, mounted police and a dog unit. What's the advantage of having a dog in your arsenal of weapons against rhino poachers?
It is one of the best tools that we can use.
Why?
If you hide in a veld,
Out in the bush, you hide rhino horn in the bush. You dig a hole.
Yes, it will take a lot of time to find it. But the dog scent, it's much, much better than a man can ever think.
The command center of this war, a small bush outpost where Andrew Parker is planning a more high-tech response.
Two things that we're really excited about at the moment. The one is radar, which would provide us with a great advanced warning capability in terms of being able to monitor our periphery. The drones, obviously, if there is any breach, if there is any incident, to have an aerial capability is absolutely invaluable.
Police say well-organized criminal syndicates are behind the dramatic and violent increase in rhino poaching. They reportedly supply rhino horn to markets in Asia, where it's wrongly believed rhino horn has medicinal qualities, or to Yemen, where the horn is used for ceremonial daggers. But until the demand in those places is stopped, the South Africans say they are only delaying, not stopping, the inevitable extinction of one of Africa's big five animals. Robin Kerner, CNN, at the Sabi Sand Game Reserve, South Africa.
Time now to take another break. When we come back, we'll take a look at sports. Welcome back. You know, most tennis fans this year have wondered if Roger Federer was over the hill. After all, he failed to win a Grand Slam tournament in a calendar year, and that had not happened since 2002. He's proving now he still has plenty to offer, enjoying a renaissance on the ATP Tour. On Sunday, he won his second straight tournament by winning the Paris Masters. We have details in this report.
Who was determined to put on a show for the home crowd, but it didn't turn out that way. The 16-time Grand Slam winner was simply brilliant, and he broke the Frenchman's serve right away on the way to winning the first set easily, 6-1. Full credit to Tsonga because he kept on fighting and made the second set interesting by keeping up with Federer, but it was always the Swiss man's match to lose. Always managed to get a slight edge. The Frenchman forced a tie-break in the second set. However, he got off to a slow start, and a long backhand meant game, set, and match to Federer, who has now won 12 straight matches ahead of the season-ending ATP World Tour Finals here in London.
Very happy, yes. It's been a wonderful tournament for me from start to finish. Didn't drop a set, I think, as far as I can remember right now, but I played a great final. I started great and finished great in the breaker, so I couldn't be more happy, and what a great end to the season, actually.
Let's now take a quick look at the weather report, courtesy of the Central Forecast Office.
Is endowed with a wonderful landscape full of baobab trees. Like its Cape Point in Bacau, it is one of the most exotic sceneries in the world. The baobab tree is a symbol of resilience, wisdom, and resourcefulness. For the baobab tree provides good food in times of hunger, rents its bark for medications, and its sap for glue. In the Gambia, there is a company like the baobab tree, 100% African and purely Gambian in all aspects, in know-how, design, value, capital, and management. That company is Elton. Elton, employing hundreds of Gambians and proudly associating itself with development in the Gambia. Elton, side by side with the Gambia.
Hello, and once again, it's a warm welcome to the weather segment. We begin with a summary of today's weather, followed by the forecast. Conditions over the Gambia were mainly warm and sunny. For what next? Let's start with a look at the satellite image captured at 16:30 hours, indicating clear and stable conditions over most parts of the continent. However, deep convections were observed over the eastern part of Africa. For our forecast, tonight we're expecting a partly cloudy and cool atmosphere across the country, and it will be cooler in the inlands. Day tomorrow will be partly cloudy and warm, particularly in the afternoon. Winds will be mainly northeasterly in orientation, but generally light to moderate in speed. Morning temperature values are expected to be 23 degrees Celsius over Banjul. We're expecting 21 degrees Celsius over Yundum. Kerawan, Sibanor, and Jinoy will record 20, 19, and 18 degrees Celsius respectively. The rest of the country will be 18 degrees Celsius warm tomorrow morning. Top temperatures will be 33 degrees Celsius over Banjul. We're expecting 35 degrees Celsius over Yundum. Kerawan, Sibanor will record 37 degrees Celsius. Elsewhere over the Gambia will be mainly 38 degrees Celsius. For those going to sea, we're expecting low tides of 0.42 meters at 6:20 in the morning and 0.42 meters again at 6:19 in the afternoon. High tides are expected to be 1.52 meters at 29 minutes past 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're expecting 1.38 meters at 7 minutes past midday. Wave heights will vary between 1 to 2 meters and mainly northeasterly swells. The sun will rise at 5 minutes past 7 o'clock and will set at 26 minutes to 1900 hours. With that, it's a quick check at the international forecast, and it's a good night to everybody.
Thank you, yes. And before we go, a reminder of our headlines. Lawyers representing Dr. Amadou Kadri Jane and his three co-defendants, and state prosecutors have disagreed on the admissibility of printouts of recorded messages as evidence. Contending parties have been holding rallies to garner more votes ahead of the November 24th presidential showdown. Environmentalists are decrying the dwindling population of the exotic black rhino, which faces a threat of extinction